Hello, my name is Sara Oehler and I work for Softflex Company. And today we're going to do a little exploring with Kumihimo. So we're going to be using Softflex beading wire, which is a marine quality stainless steel beading wire. It's very strong, very durable. It has a beautiful nylon coating. I'm using white today, so the color is right in the coating. And it's non-tarnishing, hypoallergenic, but it's really, really strong, and it's especially good on a Kumihimo design when you're adding beads. So one of the designs I made years ago now is this guy, and this is a fantastic candidate for a project that would use Softflex rather than a thread or cord, because as you can see, I used really beautiful Swarovski crystals in this design, and they have really sharp edges, and the way that you pull the braid together, the wire actually, or thread or cord, actually kind of hits on the edge of that crystal, and so it can really shred through a thread or cord pretty easily, but because Softflex is so durable and it has that beautiful nylon coating to protect the wire underneath, it works really great in a design like this. So we're going to take a look at a few samples, and then I'm going to show you how to add beads onto the wire to make a design. Let me switch designs here. Design like this guy. How beautiful is that? That's using, again, a bunch of really gorgeous big bicone crystals. And as I get in a little bit closer with it, you'll be able to see, let me flip the camera down so I can give you a closer look. You'll be able to see how the wire kind of pulls on the edges of those crystals, and it would be really a fantastic candidate for using our beading wire. So let me flip down and we will get started. How are all of you guys doing today? So good to see you. There's my sky. It's still up there. I'm gonna move you just like a little bit closer to me so I can get just a little bit of a better, there we go. Okay, so I've got my disc all loaded up here, but before we get to that, I wanted to show you a few examples and talk a little bit more about why the wire is so good for this. Also, I needed to let you know we have a fantastic deal this week. We're doing 20% off on all of the Softflex beading wire except the Extreme. And so that's Softflex, Soft Touch, Pro Econoflex, Econoflex, the Trios, the Quad, they're all 20% off on the website. And then also our Kumihimo category. So if you need to pick up a Kumihimo disc, a round or a square, we have a booklet with some projects using this Kumihimo disc. You can do that as well for 20% off. And then of course we do free shipping on all US orders over $50. Oh, Leah says she's freezing in Chicago. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. It's pretty lovely here in California. I'd say it's probably roughly 70 to 75 degrees would be my guess. So it's kind of a perfect day to be outside, and not too sunny, some nice clouds, so it still feels like fall here. Okay, so some of the projects I wanted to look at today. We already looked at two, but I wanted to show you up close. This blue one. So here's what I'm talking about. As the wire comes out of the crystal, it pulls to the center to weave. And so as you wear this, that little wire or thread or whatever you've used is going to rub on the edge of that crystal, which is quite sharp. So this is a fantastic time to use a beading wire like ours, which is so flexible, it can actually be tied into a knot and not lose any strength where it's knotted, but also so strong because it's 49 strands of stainless steel braided inside of it in a proprietary braid. So it's really, really strong. This particular one has a 26-pound break strength, which comes really from the fishing industry, this test strength information here. So it's not 26 pounds of beads, it's 26 pounds of weight in a forward motion. So that would be like a fish running down river at 26 pounds would snap this product on average too. That's not, you know, it's an average of several tests. I've seen tests where 024, the thicker version of this, can have up to a 60 to a 65 pound test strength because it just has such good quality materials in it, and the proprietary braid is so good. So it's a really great product, and it comes in lots of different colors. I'm using white today for my design. That's what I used in this one as well. But there are lots of other color options, and we're going to take a look at a few more designs. Oh, 80s in Tucson, that's nice. So we looked at these two. I have one more kind of in that same vein that I'm going to show you. This was in a beadwork magazine several years back. And in this one I used crystals, and then I also did seed beads. So when I show you the beads that I'm doing today, I'm doing all the same bead. I'll kind of give you an idea of how I went about making this sort of a spiral look by separating out the beads. And you can see I just did the bottom half, and then I just used soft flex up the back. So you just have the beads in the front. So that was one, and then I also have a couple of neat bracelets. First, let me show you this. This was done by Kristen for our book, Seed Bead Revolution, which you can still find on Amazon. And Seed Bead Revolution was an opportunity for us to look at all these really interesting seed beads that are on the market. These are called dragon scales. And so Kristen made this design using dragon scales in the center on the Kumihimo. And I think it just creates such an interesting, fascinating texture at the front of this design. Lydia's got her windows open. Nice. It's lovely outside. If somebody could drop a link to Seed Bead Revolution on Amazon, that would be really nice for Kristen and I. Thank you. Kristen is so talented. She used the spinel beading wire on this one. In Seed Bead Revolution, we did all of the projects in 2 color schemes. And so I have one set of projects and she has one set of projects. And this was the color that I got in this design. It's so pretty. I really love it. We've got also a couple bracelets. I made this, oh gosh, I want to say this was for Step by Step wire jewelry when it was around. And this is one very long strand of Extreme 24K. And then I used some gold fiber cord as part of it. And this is the center of that very long strand of Kumihimo, and then I just loosely knotted it to create this really interesting bracelet. And it's kind of fun because it's so flexible. It's spongy, you know, because it has a little bit of give to it. So this is what it looks like on your wrist. And all these projects that I've done in past magazines, you can still find information on them on my Sara Oehler, OEHLER.com Facebook page. If you go into my albums, I have most of my designs that have ever been published there. If you look for published designs or something along those lines, and that'll tell you what issue it was in, so you can still find instructions for it that way. And then I have this guy, which is in the booklet that I think is 20% off this week in the Kumihimo category. And in this one, I used these really cool cube seed beads. And it's again a Kumihimo braid. And then I have a really fun Saki silver clasp on the front here. Hi, Robin. Before I start showing you how to add beads, we've got a cute little project making Kumihimo earrings. I feel like this is a video on YouTube, possibly. I don't remember. It was a while ago when I made it. But again, this is just a basic Kumihimo braid, and then it's just crimped at the top.
But you can do this in a zillion different colors, and you can even mix colors if you wanted to. I used the 24 karat gold in this project here, which I think is really fun, but you could do spinel or tanzanite or black or white or bronze or copper. You know, there's so many options in the beading wire colors. And you could even add beads if you wanted to add just a few beads at the bottom. I'm sure you could figure out how to do that as well. So let's get started with what we have going on today. So what I've done is I've preloaded my disc to make it easier. And what that means is I took 8 long strands of white soft flex in medium diameter, and I pinched them all into this bead stopper, which opens by those little orange clips. And they're all inside the bead stopper, and then I sent that down the center of the Kumihimo disc. And I have, 2 wires going up on either side of 32, 2 on either side of 24, 8, and 16. And you look for that little black dot to make sure you're getting it directly across from each other. I'm going to move my tripod out so that the beads can sort of free float underneath. I've pre-strung my beads too, which are, I think they're 8mm crystals. So let me just move out here so that we can, see a little bit better, and I can free float my beads below. So basically I have beads on every other strand, and it's the same side, it's the right side on each section. And all I did was clip the beads onto the wire using a bead stopper. So when I use the disc, I go top left to bottom left. You're not going to add beads until you've laid a foundation. I'm going to take my bottom right to my top right, and then I'm going to turn bottom left to top left, top right to bottom right, and turn. And as you get going, you get faster and faster. So you're lifting one up, and then you're bringing one down. And this is actually like probably one of the more therapeutic projects that I do. I feel like it's really nice. It's one of those things you can watch TV and do, or take on a road trip and really enjoy. One thing you want to always think about is your tension. You can get weights to hold this down, so you have a little bit of a weight there to make sure that you're getting the same tension on the front of your design as on the back. I'm not too concerned because I'm going to do mostly beads on this, so it should be fine. Okay, so I've laid down what I think is a decent foundation there of braiding. So now I'm going to start adding my beads. So I'm going to spin my board, and I'm going to do my bottom left, top left, and then this next one down. Oh, no beads on this one. Here's my first bead. So I'm going to string my first bead in from my wire, and I'm going to tuck it underneath this cross wire, and then I'm going to go over the top. So it's not going to stay under there perfectly. You just want to get it under there kind of as best as you can so it's not popping out. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to lift, I'm going to string my bead into the center and underneath my cross wire, and then bring it down. And then I should have a bead coming here, so I'm going to pull up, string into the center, cross over, and one here. So by having it on every other one, you're going to add 4 beads at a time. See the little pattern? And then you're going to have 4 wires that don't have beads. And that just kind of pulls it even further into place. There we go. And then we're going to go again with beads. So I'm sticking my little bead underneath the cross wire. I love doing this too. Emily said that she made her own weight with binder clip and an old prescription bottle with some quarters in it. That's so smart. Yeah, we've tossed around selling the weights, but they weigh so much. And there's so many other options out there. So you can see it's a little tricky sometimes to get that first one underneath. Don't worry too much about it. You can continue to fix it as you add more beads, and it'll sort of anchor it more and more in place. So just get it under there as best as you can. This is much harder to do and keep it on camera than I anticipated. Also, what will happen is you'll see it kind of pulling one way or the other, and you just kind of want to fix that up. And I look to be a little off in where I feel like I went backwards or something. So I'm going to move these this way. Here we go. Just get that all centered, and you see as I go, it's going to start building those crystals together. They're going to look really, really lovely, and eventually what happens, if I can get my camera back in place here, is this, where you have built a chain of crystals that are absolutely gorgeous. And then to finish it off, I used crimping. So I think what I did in this case is I crimped all 8 wires with a big 3x3 crimp on the inside of here. And then I took 1 wire up through the crystal and I attached it through with a 2x2 crimp tube and a 3mm crimp cover to a single wire. So that's a big explanation, but much easier to do than it sounds. So you're using a 3x3 crimp on the inside with the Mighty crimping pliers, and then regular crimping pliers with a 2x2mm crimp here to attach to your end wire where you're going to have your clasp. So lots of fun stuff, and like I said, I'm using crystals here, which is a fantastic design for Softflex because the edges are so sharp. You definitely want a really strong material if you're doing something like this, because the edge of that crystal is really going to cut into your wire or thread or cord. But you can also use it with a design like this where you've got some cube seed beads. They don't have as sharp of an edge, but it still creates this really neat feeling in the design. It doesn't collapse as easily as it would with a thread or cord. It kind of maintains that beautiful round shape, which is really fun. So those are my ideas today for how you can add beads to your Kumihimo designs using our Softflex beading wire. We have a fantastic deal this week, you guys. It's 20% off on Softflex beading wire on the website and the Kumihimo category. And that's not just Softflex, it's Soft Touch, it's the Extreme, it's everything. And we're going to be doing a ton of videos this week, so that's part of why I'm keeping it kind of short today, because I'm actually going to film my video for Friday, and it's going to premiere at 10 a.m. Friday morning on YouTube. I'm going to be doing this adorable little snowman this week for my holiday crafts and ornaments video. And then I'll be in Oakland at the Whole Bead Show this weekend from 11 to 1 o'clock in Nilay Patel's Silver Silk booth. And we will be doing really fun demonstrations of soft flex and silver silk both together. And I'm hoping to stream live from there almost every day this weekend with at least a very short project or tip or trick, maybe some fun talk with Nilay, and James will be there. So it's going to be a lot of fun, but I have a lot of prep to do to get ready for that. So I am running like a mad woman in every direction. But check out that Kumihimo sale this week and the 20% off on the Softflex beading wire. It's a great time to pick up all of your favorite colors, replenish your stock, and get a really great discount on the wire. And you don't have to buy 8 spools. You can just buy a few spools if you want. And it includes the trios and the new quad. So that too. So have fun this week, you guys, and I will be back on a Friday. You can see James tomorrow on YouTube. He'll be premiering his video at 2 p.m. Pacific time, and he will have a Kumihimo video that'll probably be a much longer, more detailed video than mine, and maybe using craft wire, which is kind of fun. So we'll wait and see what he's doing, and that's tomorrow, Thursday. I will be there on Friday on YouTube at 10 a.m. Pacific time premiering a video. I will not probably personally be there because I'll be heading to Oakland, but one of my coworkers will be there to answer any questions that you guys have. Can I give you the address for Oakland? Yeah, it is at the Marriott in downtown Oakland, and I will ask Thomas, I'm pretty sure he's watching, to look up that address and post it here for you to watch. Thank you, Karen. Karen says, great tutorial. It's so lovely to see all of you guys. I hope you're having a fantastic Wednesday, and I look forward to seeing any of you that can make it to the Oakland show this weekend in person. That's going to be a lot of fun. All right, bye guys.